Hello Perfect Beauties. So if you haven't checked out Noor's channel, it's NuBuroXO. I think I'll put the link below. Definitely check out her videos. She really inspired me to do this video because she's just so strong-willed and honest about her relationships, and I think that we need more gurus like that, being open and talking to our younger audience about self-respect, because that's really the gist of it. The main point of it, or the main point of my channel, is, you know, loving yourself and respecting yourself. I mean, if makeup can help you do that, great, but you know, it's not just about makeup.
Yeah, had a lot of crooks trying to steal your heart. Never really had luck, couldn't never figure out how to love.
I wanted to do a video about self-respect. So let me give you a life lesson, maturity 101, is you cannot change people. And Maya Angelou has this quote that I will forever remember, like it's in my top 10 quotes. When people show you who they are, believe them, okay? Now, that sounds so like first grade logic, right? Like, no duh, when people show you who they are, believe them. But I cannot believe us women, when we get into certain, and men too, but when we get into certain relationships or circumstances, we don't see what is right in front of us, you know? Let me give you an example of my life, I guess. And I'm pretty open just because, how do I put this? Is this better? I don't know, this lighting is really weird. I'm sorry. Pretty open on my channel because I want to be able to talk openly. And I don't want to get sued about anything, you know? I don't know. But a while ago, I was seeing this guy who, you know, for me, I was like, oh my God, like just falling fast for this guy, right? And, you know, when you meet someone and you think they're like too good to be true, or like, oh my God, blah, 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 your vision is distorted and you idolize this person, you put them on a pedestal, and you see them for not necessarily all the time of who they are. And so, you know, for this period of time when I was dating him, I thought, you know, he was just perfect in every way, like just completely and madly infatuated with him. Then in our relationship, there was this instance where he blatantly lied to me in front of my face, just eye contact, lied, and I knew that he was lying because, I mean, I just completely knew what was going on. I had proof, but he just lied to my face. And the funny thing was that when you lie about something, that lie becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger lie, because I would always question, like, wait, that doesn't make sense because this and this and that. And he just made it into this really ridiculous lie at the very end that just sounds really ridiculous if I were to say it. I cannot believe that when he lied to me, I still was like, it's okay. I was like, in my head, I was like, it's okay. Because I remember, again, I idolized him. I thought he was like the one for me. And so I held on and I clung on to this vision of that's okay that he lied, because I can change him into a person who is honest. And I started making stupid excuses for why he lied, like, oh, he had a rough childhood, or oh, he you know, just got a really bad breakup with his ex-girlfriend, oh, he has some, you know, autistic disorder. I don't know. I made up all these excuses in my head, and I was like, you know, I'm going to help him. In my mind, I said, I'm going to help him. I'm going to help him not lie anymore. And I stuck with him for some time after that, even though I knew in my gut that I could never ever trust this guy again. And that is the thing. I told my girlfriends about this situation. They were like, why are you still with him? Like, you need to dump his ass right now. Walk away. But for some reason, I stuck because I thought I could change him. I thought that if this one little thing about him lying I could change, then the relationship would be perfect. And something like lying is if that is in your relationship, there's no way the relationship can work. And you know, I was like, you know, I can change him, I can change him, I can change him. And then obviously we're no longer together, we don't talk anymore. I would just say it kind of ended where I felt like I couldn't trust anything he said after that, and he probably knew that I didn't trust him, and it just, nothing ever worked, you know, because you don't take things at face value. So my point being is, when you see these signs of disrespect, lying, cheating, not following through, you know, doing things that aren't respectful, and you know what they are, you know, you just know. I don't need to give you like a first grade lesson on what respect is. Don't think that you can change that behavior and make him that perfect man. Don't ever think that. You have to put it in yourself, in front of you. Even if you need to take a big sheet of paper and write big capital letters, put it and like frame it in front of your bed and make yourself realize that that is not going to change about him, and you cannot force him to change. You need to walk away from that relationship and get on with your life. Sure, can he change? Yes, he can, but you can't force him to. And obviously if he's still doing it to you, he hasn't changed enough. And usually what's going to happen is, it takes years for people to change. They don't just wake up one morning and decide to change. They, you know, you go through a series of self-discovery and self-improvement and all that. And maybe down the line in a few years, yeah, maybe the guy who once lied has realized better and doesn't do it anymore. But with you, at that moment, it is not okay. So you need to learn how to walk away from the situation. Now, why don't we walk away from the situation? I think a lot of us put up with bad behavior, and I think a lot of it is fear. You know, we fear that we aren't good enough if we are single or alone. We fear that we will not find someone who finds us attractive or amazing or awesome. We fear that. And I think a lot of that fear and a lot of that insecurity stems from not loving yourself enough when you're single. I can't iterate how important this is. You need to be able to have points in your life when you're single and just completely so infatuated with yourself and love yourself and demand respect from people. So that way when you do find yourself in a relationship, and when you are with someone who maybe unfortunately does exhibit behaviors of disrespect, you're able to walk away from it, because you know that being alone is better than being in a relationship with someone who doesn't respect you. Okay, so again, in conclusion, my video is, you cannot change people, and if someone exhibits signs of of disrespect, you need to you need to love yourself enough to be able to walk away from that relationship. I don't believe, you know, situations like that, I really don't believe in second chances. Maybe it can work, but for me, I think I would be way too insecure to trust a person again once that trust has been violated, you know, which is why I don't get back together with people. I don't know, I just feel really weird about it, but it's different for everybody. So you know, make sure you're able to walk away from a situation, give yourself some time to grieve, and, you know, to just be single and to love yourself. So that way, when you are in another relationship, you are not bounded by fear to stay with that person. You are bounded by self-respect. So I hope this helps you, Perfect Beauties, and don't forget to enter my $500 Perfect Beauty giveaway. I'll see you later. Bye.